This is a tutorial for a saddle stitch zine using thread binding. We'll be using the reader from the LUMIN Recovering Our Collective Awareness syllabus as an example, which will be about an 80-page pamphlet when bound. This is probably on the upper end for this kind of stitching. The less pages, the neater and easier it will be. Everything you need is listed in the description.
First, you'll want to take a bone fold and use one of the edges to firmly flatten out the folds of every single page. It doesn't take much pressure and makes a real difference. If you don't have a bone fold, any implement with a soft edge will work and won't scratch the paper.
Next, we need to mark out 5 points along the spine for the thread to go through. Take a ruler or measuring tape and mark the centre. For this A5 pamphlet, it will be about 10.5 centimeters from one end. Then mark out 2 equal points from the centre to the top and the centre to the bottom. We've gone for 3 centimeter increments, but it's up to you.
Next, thread your needle. The amount of thread should be at least twice the length of your pamphlet spine, but it will make the stitching easier if it's a bit longer than this. We're not tying knots on either end of the thread, so just keep an eye on it. You can leave about 3 centimeters of excess thread.
Now we're going to poke the holes. Place a block of cork or a few stacked pieces of cardboard under the pamphlet, cover side up. First we need to make sure the pamphlet is in line. Try to push the pages tightly together against the spine, like so. If it helps, you can use clothes pegs or bulldog clips to keep the pages where you want them. Carefully but firmly press the awl into each of the marks we made on the spine, so there are 5 equidistant holes. Keeping your pages in line will ensure the holes remain at the centre of your spine both inside and out.
Then it's time to stitch. Start in the centre hole from the inside of the pamphlet. Leave at least enough thread to reach the lowest hole. Now go through the next hole above the central one, from the outside of the pamphlet inwards. With your other hand, make sure to keep a hold of that leftover thread the whole time so it doesn't get pulled through. Next, go through the topmost hole from the inside out. After every stitch, make sure everything is kept taut by giving a tug on both ends of the thread. Then we thread through the hole that's second from the top, from outside in, and then through the centre hole from inside out. Repeat the process, this time with the lower half of the pamphlet.
We'll end up on the outer side of the pamphlet, and we want to tie a knot to make sure nothing unravels. Hold the loose thread on the inside of the pamphlet with one hand and the needle with the other, and pull firmly to make sure everything is taut. Then thread the needle under either stitch above or below the centre. Leave a small loop and thread the needle through this loop, making a knot. Tighten the knot right up to the centre. You can pull on the loose string on the inside to keep things taut and guide the knot as close to the page as possible with your fingers. Thread back through the centre hole from the outside to the inside.
The knot we just made feels and looks slightly bulky on the spine, so pull on the thread firmly to pull the knot through as much as possible. Finally, you can unthread the needle and tying the two ends of the thread together to make a knot. Cut the longer end to match the length of the shorter end. You can leave these as is, or tuck the loose ends under the stitches. Use the needle to lift up the stitches if that helps.